Good morning. Well, some friends had demanded that I talk on US presidential elections. I have been writing a lot on that, and the issue is of importance. You see, US is still, despite its all actions, despite the so-called globalization, is still an important country. And being our most important neighbor, the big brother, we in Canada have to be specifically concerned with what happens in that country. Our trade, our defense, in fact our whole life is dependent on United States of America. You know, and globally it's like alcohol. A bit of it is useful, too much of it is harmful. But anyway, coming to the US elections, the new elections, the present elections are extremely disturbing trend. They show a bipolar world, a conflict between the establishment, the established modes, the system, and the disruptionist. You know, I have been using this word disruptionist for a long time. And the disruptionist, I have always been calling them creators because they disrupt the present situation and bring about a change. And this change, politically, is not only a trend in America. We don't know what's going to happen in the elections, but the state is in a state of flux, the state of the country. You never know what's going to happen. But the issues are extremely important. Now, first coming to the issue of being disruptionist, the right wing, the conservatives, that is a growing trend. People have been terribly disappointed with liberalism. And that's why Jeremy Corbyn in England, the conservatives in Belgium, in Sweden, in Denmark, in Italy, in India, where Narendra Modi came into power, and now in USA where Trump is roaring, let's see what happens, shows that the people are disgusted with the liberals, with the liberal agenda, and the politically correctness. And they want to return to their values, the cherished traditional values. That's one part. The second part is change is always better. And standing waters do stagnate, and the standing waters have been there for 8 years under Obama. That was a change from Bush, the conservatives. And now again there's a time for change. And if Hillary comes in power, that means approximately 4 to 8 years more. And then, you know, the most important thing for the Americans is their economy. Whatever the Democrats might say, the success of economy has always been more during the Republicans. The housing bubble was the creation of Clinton, if you remember that, when he when he forced back practically the financial institutions to say yes to every application for mortgage, whether the people are eligible or not. Reagan era was the best era for the simple reason that they were returned to the values and capital. Now, the point is capitalism is the base of American history, American culture, free enterprise, free trade. And when the free trade is not there, when the free enterprise is not there, when the shackles are put on the business, this is a negation of the American values. Now the system of election in US is very convoluted one. Carries on for 1.5 years. Now imagine the stupidity that a person is a president for 4 years and it takes him 1.5 years to fight the elections. So much of wastage. Wastage of time, wastage of resources. But it's a great drama. Now in this election, what do they stand for? While Hillary stands for the continuation of Obama policy, which includes A, high taxes on the businesses, B, tariffs and free trade, no tariffs, free trade, more immigration and a liberal immigration, pro-liberal attitude towards fundamentalism, hands-off approach, and Trump stands for, as he says, lesser taxes on the businesses so that they can expand, more tariffs on the incoming goods so that they can compete with the imports and thus go in for production, more American manufacturing, more jobs, more employment, restrictions on immigration, more forceful attitude against fundamentalism. So the core values of American civilization and American culture. Of course, I oppose any restriction on anybody's religion. That is not the done thing today. It might have been possible in medieval ages. But today, everybody has a right to have his own religion, his own culture. But fundamentalism and terrorism under the guise and the camouflage of religion, that is not permissible. Now, when Hillary talks, she talks of experience. I appreciate that. 30 years is a long experience. But is 30 years experience not 1 year's experience multiplied 30 times? As a CEO, I had always tried to have people who had either no experience or experience in diversified fields. For the simple reason that they are able to have an objective view and are not constrained by the blinkers. Too much of experience puts blinkers on your eyes. If you are new, if you are fresh, you bring you have a new outlook and bring a new change. 8 days or more before the election takes place. But that's not the end of the election. This is the first part of the... Now, US elections are very, very convoluted affair. This election is primarily to elect part of the electoral colleges. 270 votes ultimately, whoever can. So, 50 plus 1, 600 votes would be there, short of 500. Now, this is the first part. But then the second part would be in December. The third part would be on the 8th of January when the Electoral College would vote. This voting is an indicator and shall show us the Electoral College. But there have been times when the Electoral College people, the people who elected, change their preferences. Say they are elected for Trump, but they might vote for Hillary. And elected for Hillary might vote for Trump if the situation change, if the circumstances change. So, as a matter of fact, the campaign shall not end on the 8th of November. The direction shall change. Till 8th of November or 7th of November, the direction is to approach the electorate, the people, then it will be concentrated on the electoral college, because then they will be told the mere things, the things in reality. Those are the people who will ultimately take the decision. At the same time, there will be a difference. The ongoing investigations into email can have a profound impact. Similarly, new skeletons might come out of the Trump's cupboard. So the preferences would keep on changing. Then the international situation. What happened in United Nations on Friday when Russia was denied seat on the Human Rights Commission, but countries like Saudi Arabia were elected to the Human Rights Commission. What a joke. I mean, I'm no lover of Russians as far as the human rights are concerned. But the same is of China, which has been elected. But Saudi Arabia takes a cake, where 50% of the population has no rights. And this is a country which is absolutely living in the dark ages, where human rights are known by their absence. And to make that country, this is a real joke. So, the elections ultimately are going to be a decision on how the US is going to act in the next 4 years. In case it's Hillary, the Middle East imbroglio is going to continue. The wishy-washy standing tax in South Asia would continue. It would keep on running with the hare and hunting with the hound. It shall say that it's fighting ISIS, shall take 5 steps forward, 6 steps backward. If Trump comes into power, the situation with Russia might improve, but with Middle East might deteriorate still further. So, the difference is between Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Internally, US would be better, definitely, under Trump. Externally, the situation is very dicey because Trump's policies are likely to annoy its major allies in Europe, but it will create new allies in Russia. It will annoy China, it will annoy Mexico partly, but it will make India happy. It will annoy Pakistan, but it will not annoy the German. No, curiously, Germany is today the epitome of European Union. But the German people would prefer Trump policies, while the German government will prefer Hillary Clinton policies. So this is, as I said, a very dicey situation. And in such a dicey situation, the elections can mean a lot and mean different. Another thing, and that is that Trump is beset on both sides. He is being opposed by the Democrats and he is being opposed by the establishment of the Republican Party. He is a cat in the pigeon collection. So all the pigeons are against him. You see, this is a curious situation. When a man is stabbed in the front and stabbed in the back. You see, normally, I, as a political strategist, always say that such a man has some sterling qualities. It's not easy to annoy everybody. It's very honest people, it's very sincere people who annoy everybody. Because Annoying everybody means that you are not aligned to one faction. For you, most important thing is the people at large and not factionalism, not groupism, not establishment. So, who wins? Indicators, opinion polls have no meaning. They are all contrived. We have conducted and seen opinion polls being set aside by the deluge of the public sentiment. So let's not go by that. Public sentiment is important, public wishes are important. Nobody could have imagined a guy like Narendra Modi coming back with such power. And then nobody could have expected Kejriwal getting 67 out of 70 seats in Delhi. And yet people did it. So people as a whole are an absolutely unaccepted attitudes can be there and voting pattern can be there. But here the voting pattern is clear. The majority of the Americans, the white Americans, are going to vote for Trump. Majority of the immigrants from countries like India are going to vote for Trump. Majority of immigrants from countries like Pakistan, Middle East are going to vote for Hillary Clinton. Majority of the establishment and the Wall Street people are going to vote for Hillary Clinton, but the businessmen are going to vote for Trump because then they have a reduction of taxes from 35% to 15%. So situation is dicey, unpredictable. My own hunch is that Trump would be successful. Really, whether he would be, let's wait and watch. Thank you.